morning, dragons. I'm Mr. Salerno, and this is Flame, and Pirate Pierre is back. Thanks, Pierre. And we want to welcome you to the News of Camelot. Today's Thursday, February 11th, 2021. And Flame, before we get going and learn a little bit more about your friend, let's take a moment to pause, put our hand on our heart, and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now pause for the moment of silence. Thanks, dragons. And Flame, Pierre, the sun is going to rise today at 7:04 in the morning, and it's going to set at 5:42. And dragons, it's Thursday, it's a Friend of Flame day, and it's really a Friend of Flame and Pierre day. And Pierre brought this neat suggestion up because, as you know, dragons, we have grown in size with the size of our friends that Flame has showcased. And Pierre thought, hey, made a great suggestion. Made an outstanding suggestion. Why don't we do the humpback whale? And the humpback whale, dragons, believe it or not, is the fourth largest whale and a Friend of Flame, but it is an enormous animal that's about the size of a school bus. And you might have seen pictures of humpback whales doing interesting things, but before we get moving along with some facts about humpback whales, we wanted to test your knowledge, because we certainly learned a lot researching them, and Pierre gave us some fun facts about whales that we didn't know about prior to today. So let's get going, dragons. Humpback whales. Are humpback whales herbivores, which means they eat only plants? Are they carnivores, which means they eat only meat? Or are they omnivores, which means they eat both? Flame, do you know the answer? You're not going to believe this, dragons. I got this wrong too. Humpback whales are carnivores. They only eat meat. And mostly this stuff called plankton or krill or tiny fish. When we think of carnivores, maybe we think of something that attacks a little more. We'll get more into that a little later. All right, humpback whales. Are they predators, which means they're on the attack? Are they prey, which means that other animals attack them? Or are they both, predator and prey, on the attack and attacked? They are both. They are both. Now, dragons, do you think you know the number one predator to humpback whales? What do you think the number one predator to humpback whales is? The very dangerous shark. You got to be on the lookout for those sharks because they will attack whales. So, humpback whales. Are we least concerned about their population, which means there are a lot of them? Are they threatened, which means that their numbers are going down? Or are they endangered, which means we only have a few of them left? So we have to be extra careful. You know, it's a tricky answer. It's a very tricky answer. If you're talking about the year 2021, which is where we are least concerned. Isn't that great? There are plenty of humpback whales around the world. But whaling, which means the act of hunting whales, was banned about 50 years ago. And at the time when it was banned, dragons, they were very endangered. So if we had this trivia question back in 1960, endangered. But luckily we've evolved, so we're least concerned. Way to go, humpback whales. All right, what do we call a group of humpback whales? Do we call a group of humpback whales a pod? Do we call a group of humpback whales a school? Or do we call a group of humpback whales a herd? What do you think? What do you think, Flame? There you go. It's called a pod. It's called a pod. And if you have a lot of whales, a lot of humpback whales, like more than 20 or so, that's called a superpod, which means that they are growing in size together as they travel. All right, one more. Let's get a good one. You'll like this. Humpback whales, dragons. There is a unique mark on every humpback whale. Is this unique mark on their tail? Is this unique mark under their mouth? Or is this unique mark on their back? There's a special mark on every humpback whale. It acts like a fingerprint that humans have. Where is that located? Good. Yeah, this is one of the neat ones that Pierre gave us. It is under their, or what's called their underbelly. And this is what scientists use to study humpback whales, knowing that which humpback whale is different from another, which was very fascinating. Humpback whales, we could do a 1-hour show on Flame's friend because they are so interesting and so fascinating. And yesterday with Water Wednesday, we thought we'd stick with the theme of water with humpback whales. They travel all over the world, dragons. They can go to the Arctic, they can go to the Antarctic, they are in the Atlantic and in the Pacific Oceans. It is amazing. They have the largest migration of any animal. They can go up to 160,000 miles migrating from one place to another. And you know how we said that humpback whales are carnivores? They don't even have teeth. It's just amazing. Humpback whales don't even have teeth. They have these baleen filters, and basically they open their mouth really wide, and then they close their mouth with all the food inside, and their teeth, or filters, or this filtration system that they have, it acts to let the water leave their mouths and just leave all of the food inside, right? They're these plates. I can't even describe it. Could you imagine just opening up your mouth, closing it, and then water flew out, and then the food was left inside? It's incredible. And humpback whales will leave you with this one last thing, dragons. You'll love this. Humpback whales communicate by singing. They have these sounds and songs that they use to communicate from one whale to another. And another way they communicate is they do this thing called breaching, where they fly out of the water. They don't fly out of the water, but where they leap into the air and they land with these great big splashes. And those great big splashes, sometimes they're used to scare away sharks and other predators, but often they're used to be very playful and enjoy the wonderful waters of any of the oceans that they travel in. And when Pierre gets to see one, and is especially excited about when he sees a humpback whale, because they're so friendly, because they're highly intelligent, and certainly a friend of Flame. Da-da-da! It's time for the birthday box. We had that really fun birthday box of cereal yesterday. That was kind of cool. Today we're going to the birthday box, and let's see. We have one very special birthday today, dragons. It's Dante Galdamus in 6th grade. Dante, happy birthday. That is awesome. And we don't have any mail, dragons. And why don't we just talk another hour about humpback whales? But we won't do that. But here's what we'll do instead. And Pierre came up with this idea, which we thought was really clever. So Pierre's been on the show for a few days since the Super Bowl, which was really fun for him. But we've done this Friend of Flame journey from a small friend to a giant friend in the humpback whale. We want you to write Flame and Pierre and tell us, do you remember all of the friends that we started with all the way up to the humpback whale? Can you name the friends of Flame that we have gone through in this chain of friends? And if you think you know the answer, email me or email Flame or get in touch with us, and we'll see if we can put your responses on the air. If you get a correct response, we'd love to know. You could be all of them, it could be one of them, but there are 5 of them. So if you can remember who they are, we would love to hear about it. So, on behalf of Flame, on behalf of Pierre, the world traveler who loves humpback whales, I'm Mr. Salerno. We hope you have an awesome Thursday today, dragons, and we can't wait to see you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.